You're doing everything right. You wake up earlier, you work longer, you've optimized your mornings, tracked your habits, deleted the distractions. You're more disciplined than you were 5 years ago. You are more focused, more capable. And somehow your life doesn't feel like it's moving forward. You are not falling apart, you're not collapsing, you're just maintaining, you're staying in place, treading water in a current that keeps getting stronger. And the worst part is you feel like it must be your fault, that if you were just a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more consistent, less tired, then maybe you'd finally break through. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the floor has been quietly rising and nobody told you? Let me tell you about Jamie. Jamie is 34, works in marketing. It's not a terrible job, but it's not a dream job. It's just stable enough to keep going. 5 years ago, Jamie was fine. Rent was manageable, savings gave him a cushion, weekend trips didn't require mental audit first. Today, Jamie earns more than before. On paper, about 10% more. It should feel better. It doesn't. Here is what rarely gets said about modern life. The baseline keeps rising. Not in shocks, in inches. A few percent here, a new expectation there. The floor rises. And the effort required just to stay upright increases with it. Because it happens slowly, because everyone around you is also struggling, you assume that the problem is personal. I'm not trying hard enough. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not optimized enough. But answer this honestly. If you are doing more than you were 5 years ago, working more, earning more, pushing harder, and your life feels basically the same or even slightly worse, whose failure is that? There is a concept called the Red Queen effect. It comes from Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland novels, when the Red Queen tells Alice, "Here, you see, it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place." Probably Carroll meant it as nonsense, but it is now the perfect description of modern life, where everybody has to run faster just to avoid falling behind. Not to win, not to get ahead, just to stay where you are. That's modern life. Work, money, housing, attention. The system accelerates, and the cost of that acceleration gets passed quietly onto you. Take productivity tools. So email was supposed to make work easier, and briefly it did. And then everyone started sending more emails. 10 a day became 50. 50 became 100. Now you need filters, folders, apps to manage the apps, notifications to remind you about the notifications that you've missed. The workload didn't disappear. It redistributed. The inefficiency didn't vanish. It just landed on you. Or look at work itself. Do more with less isn't a slogan, it's a business model. When somebody leaves, the work does not go with them. It gets absorbed. You do your job. plus half of someone else's, plus the work of a department that quietly disappeared. And when you say you're overwhelmed, everyone's busy. We all have to step up. Just prioritise. The organisation saved money. You absorbed the cost. Jamie didn't become careless with money. The system just became more expensive to survive. You probably earn more now than you did 5-10 years ago. Does it feel like more? No, it doesn't, because wages didn't rise with life. Life rose because it could. You're running faster. The distance hasn't changed. This is what makes it so effective. It's invisible. If someone took money from your account, you'd notice. If somebody added 10 hours to your week overnight, you'd push back. But when it happens gradually, when expectations creep, when availability becomes assumed, when rest starts to feel like laziness, you don't call it extraction, you call it personal failure. I should be able to handle this. Everyone else is managing. Something must be wrong with me. And that's the trap, because once you blame yourself, you stop questioning the system. So here's the question. Before you open your email tonight, before you say yes out of reflex, ask yourself, what am I actually maintaining? Not what you're building, not what you're moving towards, what you're maintaining. Because if the answer is a pace you didn't choose, or a standard you didn't set, a system that doesn't value your effort, then you're allowed to stop. Not forever, just for tonight. You don't owe the treadmill your life. You're allowed to step off, even briefly, even if everyone else keeps running. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're just finally seeing the game for what it is. And that clarity, that changes how you move.